that Subaru just made a bold move with the new Forester, but not everyone's going to like it. It's got the same trusted all-wheel drive, the same boxer engine, but there's one small change that might make or break your decision to buy it. Is it a step forward or a step backward? Let's find out. At first glance, the 2025 Subaru Forester doesn't scream radical transformation. The design tweaks are subtle, almost too subtle. The front grille is slightly refined, the headlights get a sharper look, and the overall stance remains familiar. Subaru isn't chasing trends. They're sticking to what works. And for a brand that prides itself on reliability, that's not necessarily a bad enough to raise questions. Why reduce power in a world where competitors are pushing for more? Subaru claims efficiency and refinement, but for longtime fans, this feels like a missed opportunity. However, where Subaru wins is in its all-wheel drive system. Unlike many competitors that offer front-wheel drive as standard, the Forester keeps its true symmetrical AWD layout. It's built for stability, grip, and confidence, especially in unpredictable weather. Whether you're tackling a snowstorm, a muddy trail, or just a rainy highway, this system gives the Forester an edge. And let's talk about build quality. Step up close, and you'll notice something Subaru does differently. No overcomplicated panels, no unnecessary chrome. Just a solid, well-put-together machine. The materials feel premium, yet practical, built for longevity rather than fleeting luxury. It's the kind of vehicle that looks like it'll age well without trying too hard. But here's the real question. Does sticking to the basics make the Forester feel outdated? Or is Subaru playing it smart by keeping things simple? The answer isn't as obvious as it seems, because once you step inside, things start to get interesting. Stepping inside the 2025 Subaru Forester, you're met with a sense of familiarity. And that's both a good and a bad thing. Subaru hasn't tried to reinvent the wheel here. The layout is simple, the controls are where you expect them to be, and there's no unnecessary complexity. But in a market where competitors are loading their cabins with futuristic tech and high-end materials, does the Forester's simplicity still hold up? The first thing you'll notice is the visibility. Subaru has always been known for its excellent sightlines, and the 2025 Forester is no exception. The large windows and well-positioned pillars make the cabin feel airy and open, giving you a commanding view of the road. This might not seem like a big deal, until you drive an SUV with thick, slanted pillars that create blind spots at every turn. In the Forester, that's never a problem. Now, let's talk about space. The second row offers decent legroom, but here's where things get a little disappointing. While the seats are supportive enough, they're not the most comfortable in the segment. The padding feels a bit firm, and on long drives, that could be an issue. It's not a deal breaker, but if you're someone who spends hours behind the wheel, you might wish Subaru had paid a little more attention to seat comfort. And then there's the infotainment system, probably the most controversial part of the new Forester. Subaru has gone all in with a massive touchscreen, which looks impressive at first glance. But once you start using it, things take a turn. The response time? Sluggish. The interface? Occasionally glitchy. It's frustrating because Subaru is known for its practicality, yet this system feels like it was rushed to keep up with tech trends rather than perfected for real-world usability. That said, Subaru has kept the physical climate controls, which is a relief. Unlike some brands that bury essential controls in touchscreen menus, Subaru lets you adjust temperature and fan speed with simple dials. It's a small detail, but it makes a big difference when you're driving and don't want to take your eyes off the road. But let's get to what really matters. How does the Forester drive? That reduced horsepower we talked about in Chapter 1? You can feel it. Around town, the difference isn't huge, but when you push the Forester on the highway, especially during overtaking or climbing hills, you'll wish it had just a little more punch. It's not underpowered, but it's also not exciting. The steering, however, is well-tuned. It's responsive, predictable, and gives you confidence on the road. And when you take the Forester onto rough terrain, that's where it shines. Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive, combined with its well-balanced suspension, means you can handle dirt roads, snow, and rain without breaking a sweat. So, here's where we stand. The Forester remains true to its roots, capable, practical, and built to last. But is that enough in a market that's rapidly evolving? That's the question we'll answer as we dive into long-term value, maintenance, and whether this SUV is worth your money. So, after everything we've covered, the design, the driving experience, the tech, there's one final question left. Is the 2025 Subaru Forester actually worth your money? See, Subaru has always had a reputation for reliability, and that's one of its biggest selling points. This isn't the kind of SUV that's going to leave you stranded on the side of the road. The engine, while slightly less powerful than before, is tried and tested. There are no complex hybrid systems to worry about, no turbochargers adding unnecessary complications. It's simple, effective, and built to last. And when it comes to maintenance, that's where the Forester shines. Subaru has made sure that key components like the battery, filters, and essential engine parts are easy to access. That means lower repair costs, easier DIY fixes, and fewer trips to the dealership. In a world where modern cars are getting increasingly difficult to maintain, the Forester remains refreshingly service-friendly. But here's where things get tricky. In today's SUV market, is reliability enough? With competitors offering hybrid powertrains, high-tech interiors, and luxury-level features at similar price points, the Forester's simplicity could either be its biggest strength or its biggest weakness. The infotainment system, for example, is a glaring flaw. In 2025, when people expect seamless, fast, and user-friendly interfaces, a laggy and glitchy system can be frustrating. And while Subaru loyalists might overlook it, new buyers comparing options may hesitate. Then there's the pricing. Subaru has kept the Forester competitively priced, but in a world where budget-conscious buyers are looking for the best value, does it stand out enough? If you need a rugged, capable, and practical SUV that can handle tough conditions, then yes, the Forester is still a great choice. But if you're looking for cutting-edge technology, a luxurious cabin, or a punchy driving experience, you might feel like Subaru played it a little too safe this time. So, here's the bottom line. The 2025 Subaru Forester stays true to its roots. It's practical, durable, and built for people who value function over flash. But in an ever-evolving market, is that enough to keep it ahead of the competition?